Hey there, Yin Yogis. Just a couple of notes about the workshop that we have coming up. Thank you so much for booking on to the workshop. I really appreciate you coming and spending some time with me to try and work on your mobility. I've had lots of awesome feedback already about what you want to work on, where you're feeling tight, where you're feeling that you have a struggle. So I'm planning the workshop based on what you have told me you want to work on. So if you haven't booked on yet, then please do ASAP and tell me what you want to work on. All right, so equipment. I recommend you get yourself prepared and that you have as much around you as possible. So you can do Yin Yoga with no equipment at all. This is not a restorative yoga practice. The goal of our practice is not going to be as comfortable as possible and to take out all sensation. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. I'm going to put you into postures for an elongated amount of time. I'm going to be holding those and really feeling some sensations. And this is going to be the thing that increases our mobility. I'm going to explain more when we get together. But you don't need to have fancy pants yoga equipment. I have one block. If you have a block, awesome. If you have a couple of blocks, great. Bring as many that you have. The blocks for Yin are mainly a good idea if we're in a pose and we just kind of want to bring the floor closer to us. So maybe we put it underneath a knee, or maybe we use it as something to rest our head on when we're in a pose. So you can substitute a block in Yin for a lot of pillows. So I have some harder pillows and some softer, squishier pillows. And I have a zafu, which is my favorite thing to sit on. These are like yoga beanbag meditation cushions. They're called zafu. It's just a little mini beanbag that's quite stiff. These are really nice to sit on to raise your hips up so that you can sit in your seated posture without your knees getting too annoyed with you. I have a yoga strap here, and I don't really use this much for knee flexion, but I've had some success with helping students out when they feel like a certain pose that we're doing is too much for the knees. Then you can roll up a strap and then place the strap in between the calf and the thigh to take out some of that flexion in the knee. You could equally do this with a small towel or a flannel rolled up. You do not need to have a yoga strap. However, there is going to be one point in the class, because so many of you have requested your shoulders as being your tight area, which is unusual for a Yin class, but we're going to sort this out. I'm going to incorporate a little bit of a stretch. It's not really Yin Yoga, it's just one that I love to do for my shoulders, and it involves using a strap. So make sure you have some kind of strap, scarf, dressing gown strap. Doesn't have to be a yoga strap. And then blankets. If you don't have a plethora of woolly, knitted, handmade blankets around your house, I'm really into yarn. And then towels. You can just use your bath towel, right? So if you've got some blankets, bring them. If you've got more than one, bring more than one. Because I don't have a bolster. A bolster is like, if you, you know what a draft excluder is? If you can imagine a squished up, sturdy version of that. If you've never, like, what is a bolster? I didn't, before I did yoga, I didn't know what a bolster was. So if you don't own a bolster, like I don't, then getting a blanket and rolling it up and placing it on top of some cushions and kind of rolling them all up together, voila, you've created it's basically a sausage of soft. So it's really nice to have bolsters to place underneath the knees or underneath your torso, depending on the pose we're in. A bolster can be really helpful. So this is what I will be using. I might even try to make a bolster out of an old pillow and just kind of rolling it up. Get creative. Essentially, the props for the workshop are going to be whatever you have is fine, lying around your house. And there's no right or wrong with it. There'll be a moment where you're like, I just feel like my knee or my head needs a little bit of support. And then you'll grab whatever you have nearby and just kind of whang it underneath your knee or your head. So I'm going to give a bunch of suggestions throughout the poses for how you can modify them, for how you can enjoy them further and go deeper, and for how you can use props. So I guess I'm just hoping that you're as prepared as possible so that once we get into it, we can spend the workshop doing the work rather than running around the house looking for, oh, I have a pillow. So get yourself ready. If you have any questions, please ask me. I'm really looking forward to working with you all. Lots and lots of love.